It's freaking Halloween season and we got a week to keep up the creep show. There are a ton of spooky game titles available for endless consumption in the PlayStation Store, but in this episode we're going to focus on the hard rock, action-packed horror games. This is YEYStation, a new channel for ranking ratings and reviews, and we're covering 5 fast-paced gunslinging terror titles available now on the PlayStation Store. To get the blood splatter started, at number 5 is Doom. Doom Eternal is a fast-paced first-person shooter where you play as the Doom Slayer, battling hordes of demons across various hellish landscapes. The game ramps up with action and intense combat mechanics, a wide array of weapons, and platforming elements. You explore locations like Earth and Hell, uncovering lore about the Doom universe while taking down monstrous foes. It's all about quick reflexes, strategic weapon use, and just pure chaotic fun. The Doom series is an absolute classic. Dates all the way back before I can even remember. Doom Eternal follows the same multi-level first-person shoot-'em-up platformer, completely unique of its kind. One of the only games that constantly keeps the action going, give you the old-school, high-difficulty day-in-the-arcade kind of feeling. The game is available now on PS Plus for free if you're rocking that subscription. If you're into rock and roll, blood and guts, then this just might be your jam.
Demonic presence, threat level 5, entering main laboratory.
An underrated title available for PS Plus at number 4, we have Callisto Protocol. The Callisto Protocol is a survival horror game set in a grim prison for Jupiter's moon, Callisto. You play as Jacob Lee, who must escape after a mysterious outbreak turns inmates into terrifying monsters. The game combines creepy atmospheres, intense combat, and puzzle solving, all while uncovering a chilling story. Expect jump scares, grotesque enemies, and a struggle for survival in a dark and twisted sci-fi setting. Now obviously, a Dead Space inspired game that has a ton of similarities from the monsters to the jump scare elements. What makes the game different is the close quarter combat system, to where you may rely on dodging from side to side and upgrading your weapon to make quick work of the enemies that stand in your way. I went through the story a couple of times in order to get the collectibles and the platinum trophy, and I thought it was genuinely scary and full of thrills. I did think the final boss fight was slightly underwhelming and it follows a little too close to the story of Dead Space themes, but I enjoyed the experience. There was some great moments, a solid story, and I'd say it's worth picking up if you got the plus on board. Rolling in at number 3 is Capcom's very own Resident Evil Village. Resident Evil Village continues the story of Ethan Winters as he searches for his kidnapped daughter in a mysterious European village filled with terrifying creatures. The game blends survival horror with action, featuring memorable villains like Lady Dimitrescu and a creepy atmosphere. You'll solve puzzles, explore creepy locales, and fight off various monsters while unraveling a dark mystery. It's a mix of intense combat, exploration, and classic Resident Evil storytelling that keeps you on edge. Now, one thing about me and its channel that you'll come to learn is that I'll find a way to fit Resident Evil games into a lot of lists, along with a couple other titles. But reason I mention Resi 8 this time is for its constant switch of themes and enemies throughout the village, with cat and mouse tyrant theme running around in the Lady Dimitrescu castle, to how insanely creepy the baby blob was, to the ultimate twist and final boss fight. The Resi lore has always been fascinating, and this game is the most recent non-remastered drop from the series and 100% worth the purchase. At number 2, which we mentioned a little earlier, and that's the Dead Space remake. Dead Space is a sci-fi survival horror game where you play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer trying to survive on a mining ship infested with terrifying, grotesque creatures called necromorphs. As you navigate the eerie corridors of the USG Ishimura, you'll solve puzzles, manage resources, and use an array of weapons to dismember your foes. The game's atmospheric tension, chilling sound design, and gripping story make it a standout in a horror genre, immersing you in a nightmarish struggle for survival. Now I'm currently in the middle of playing this now, and the game didn't wait too long to get you into the good stuff. An OG of a horror series, and from what I'm hearing is that the remake did a great job improving some of the things that the original was lacking, giving Clarke a voice being one of them, and moving around in Zero G being in a couple. I haven't gotten far enough in the story to give a final recommendation, but since we're talking about action-packed horror games today, it'll be impossible to leave this out. Now at number 1, we gotta hand the gold to Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 follows James Sunderland, who receives a mysterious letter from his deceased wife, prompting him to return to the eerie town of Silent Hill. As he explores, he encounters unsettling monsters and puzzling environments, each reflecting his inner turmoil and guilt. The game's haunting atmosphere, deep psychological themes, and memorable characters create a gripping experience, making it a classic in the survival horror genre. Now, Silent Hill 2 Remake looks incredible, and I'm gonna go based off the playthroughs I've witnessed. I didn't start playing a bunch of horror games until maybe these last couple years, so I didn't play the original, but it looks like one hell of a ride. It's currently $69.99 right now in the PS Store for full price, and there has been some whispers about it possibly being a nominee for Game of the Year this year. That may be jumping the gun, but hey, I haven't played it yet, so I might be missing out. What I do know is that it has multiple endings based off some of the in-game decisions you make, and I would love to see which one you got here in the comments. But what do you think? What games did we miss? Would love to hear your thoughts. Like the video and hit that subscribe button for YEYStation ranking and review video game content. Have a great rest of your day and take care.